Go Jackets.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Rec Talk. So a lot of things going on today in tech football and a lot of things going on today with Rec Talk. I had a great time with Cdogg today. I met him, had lunch, and we did a live stream. We're going to link that live stream in the description. If you're a Georgia Tech football fan, you've got to check that video out. We go into an in-depth discussion on everything you'd want to know about Georgia Tech football today. With that being said, if you like these videos, give us a like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. And if you want an inside scoop of what's going on the channel, join the Discord. That's where we have discussions on what videos are coming out, general Tech football things, this, that, and the other. And doing that, it's just going to make it where more Tech people can see the video. Okay, us Tech guys we gotta band together. So, first big thing just came out. Ken Segura, Kelly Quinlan, all have tweeted this. The details of Brent Key's contract have now been released. So it is a 5-year deal, which is what we already knew, worth $15 million. It starts at 2.8. The way these contracts are structured, they start low. They generally work their way up as the contract matures. The buyout does decrease, so it seems like it's not a guaranteed contract, and we only have to pay 50% after year 3 of the remaining contract. So that is kind of very baseline Division I head football coach pay. Generally the baseline is somewhere around $3 million, right? I would think that of most of the candidates that we were looking at that weren't Brent Key, they were probably in the 5 and up range. So, with that being said, that does give us some leniency and some more money to spend elsewhere. Now, I was surprised to see, because I thought it was $5 million. Our assistant coach and staff pool is $7.5 million. Now, that's 30% more than it had been. For all you Georgia guys watching, that's a $2.25 million increase. That's a lot of money compared to what we've had, right? And I think that's enough money to go make the right, very good offensive coordinator hire. This is the most important thing that Key is going to do this year, is hiring an offensive coordinator, which, by the way, I have a little sign here. If you've seen an offensive coordinator, if you've heard anything about an offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, go ahead and write the channel, and we'd love to know about it so we can let others know about it. Key said that he's really going to take his time with this hire. The thing is that National Signing Day is coming up on the 21st, and you would really like to get your offensive coordinator named before then. Now, the other thing is, I don't think you can really make other staff hires on your offense. We only have one that we're retaining, right? It's the the quarterbacks coach, Chris Winke's done a phenomenal job. He could be a candidate. I would think most likely he's elevated to co-offensive coordinator, and we go out and make a hire. Us making a bowl next year, being successful next year, it only happens probably with the right offensive coordinator hire. So we'll see what happens there. Now, we have made some hires. In his first day after being announced, Brent Key makes his first hire. Now, we get rid of the old strength and conditioning coach, which I think came as a surprise to a lot of Tech fans, a lot of Tech faithful. This was someone who seemed to be very well liked. He was very motivational. Someone the players liked. He worked out with the players. He did some of the drills with the players. But I think it's quite obvious that Brent Key and him didn't see eye to eye on how the strength and conditioning program was run. And Brent Key he even alluded to this in his press conference where he talked about, hey, it basically said it starts with the strength and conditioning program. That translates into how you practice translates into how you play. And we need to be working out in the right way, smartly. Maybe we can get some beef on the offensive line, maybe a little lower body workouts. That was one of the criticisms. So yeah, we get rid of him. We hire AJ Artis from the University of South Florida. Now, if you look on the Facebook groups and some of these other Discord groups, there's not many Tech fans that are very happy about this hire. A lot of the rumor and conjecture is that he kind of worked people in the ground at South Florida. They were very injury prone. The thing is, with injuries throughout the season, it's not like there's a direct line to be like, yep, that has to do with strength and conditioning. Sometimes injuries just happen no matter what you do. So I, for one, am going to trust Brent Key to make the correct hire. And we'll just have to see how it does. So let's look into his resume a little bit. It's not super long. He was a position coach to start out. He was a tight end and wide receivers coach at Campbell. He then worked under Jeremy Pruitt. McDonald's bag, Jeremy Pruitt. It's an interesting recruiting tactic. He was their director of sports and performance at Tennessee when Jeremy Pruitt was there. I don't necessarily like to see that he, worked for Jeremy Pruitt, but that's not necessarily an indictment on AJ Artis, right? Evidently, they saw enough in him to think that he had what it took to run a program at a big D1 school like Tennessee. And then he goes and he's the strength and conditioning coach at the University of South Florida. We've already talked about the criticisms with that. No one credible has had, a whole lot negative to say about him. But evidently Brent Key sees something in the young man. So, again, I trust Key to make the right hire, and time will tell. We'll see, how this plays out, particularly in the spring game. We'll see how kids look, what their build looks like, and see if they're ready to play. The other hire we've made is a former Georgia Tech offensive lineman, Aaron Joe. He played under Paul Johnson. He started the 2014 and 2015 seasons. He worked as a grad assistant at Tech. He's coming from Alabama. He was the assistant director of player development there, and was the assistant director of player personnel. Now, this is someone who has a close relationship with Key from what I've seen. And he kind of just keeps elevating. He goes from Tech, Alabama. Evidently, he was offered other positions. I don't know much about Aaron Joe as far as what he can do. By the way, we've hired him as the general football manager for the team. I'm not exactly sure what all that entails, but definitely the biggest role that he has worked for at this point in his career. He's a Tech guy, and again, if Brent Key sees something in the kid, I think it's good. So those are the two hires we've made. Now, we still have a ton of hires to make. And again, I think we have to hire an offensive coordinator before we make any of these position coach hires, right? I mean, you want position coaches that translate to what the offensive coordinator wants. So we still need, again, an offensive coordinator. We need a wide receivers coach. We need an offensive line coach. We need a tight ends coach. We need a running backs coach. We need everything but a quarterbacks coach. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from this point moving forward. And because we have all of these vacancies on the offensive side of the ball, I would think that makes it very difficult to go get offensive players out of the portal. So, I do see what Key's saying, and I do agree with Brent Key that, hey, you need to take your time and make the right hire. But we're going to need a quarterback. Tyson Pumachan, Cdogg helped me with pronouncing that today. Quarterback number 17 enters a transfer. Now we only have two players or two quarterbacks on the roster. We're going to need a third quarterback, and that's going to come down as far as who we target. What is Key's vision for next season offensively? He said he has a clear vision for the offense. He knows exactly what he wants it to be. But are you going to push a redshirt freshman quarterback to lead your team in Zach Pyron? Is he going to be your guy, or are you going to let him sit, learn, develop for another year, and then bring in a transfer quarterback? Or, right, I kind of boggled that. Anyways, are you going to let Zach Pyron do it and get a kid who is going to ride the bench under him in the portal, which would be kind of difficult to do, or are you going to go get the guy out of the portal and let Pyron sit? Not clear to me. I don't know. But, things that we're going to have to kind of figure out quickly, especially, hitting the recruiting trail moving forward. So let me know what you guys think. That's what's going on with Georgia Tech now. I would expect to see a lot more collaborative work coming up. Again, like and subscribe if you like these videos. Let's get these videos out to more tech people. And I will talk to you guys later.